Yeah, cause I got it like that. Flow so smooth like I got it on tap. Yeah, and I'ma say it be a good night while I'm on my Yingling, while I'm drinking Bud Light.
So this story is quite a disgusting one, if I do say so, but yeah, let's just dive into it. So today's story begins about a couple weeks ago. Well, actually like 2 weeks ago. And basically it's a normal day. I wake up, I get dressed, I eat, and I go to school. So for those that don't know, I moved to Las Vegas, and I'm currently in 8th grade. So now I'm in a new school schedule and everything, and right now, right now where the story is right now, it's 5th period in science class, and basically, I asked my teacher if I can go to the bathroom, and he's like, yeah, sure, just be sure to grab your agenda. I mean, you don't know what, and for those that don't know, basically what he means by agenda is like a book for like your passes to the bathroom, and also it's got like a calendar and stuff for like organizing, and I don't know how to really explain it. You probably guys have something similar a little bit, but yeah. So he says, grab your agenda, and then he's also says, hurry. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna hurry. No, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna take my sweet time. And I head to the bathroom, right? I go in there, and there's 3 stalls. The first 2 are normal working stalls, and the third one doesn't close all the way. It doesn't lock. You can't close it and lock it. So I go into the middle stall, because the first one was already being used by another kid. So there's a kid in the stall to the left of me, and then there's a broken, like, not working stall to the right of me. Now I'm in there, I'm doing my business, I'm taking the big old dumperoo, and then some other kid walks into the bathroom, and this kid is, like, in a real bad mood. He's just being, he's, like, stressed out, and he's just, like, sitting there against the wall, just, and he's standing in the third stall, though. He's just, like, kind of want a little bit of privacy. He doesn't want to be out in the open in the bathroom. I kind of get that. But, yeah. And I keep hearing this, like, crying or, like, this moaning, like, a sobbing. And I'm like, oh, it's probably the kid that's, like, sighing or something. Then after a couple minutes go by, and I realize it's not coming from the kid to the right of me that's sighing. It's the kid from the left. And I look over, and I'm like, what is he doing? Oh, I realize what he's doing. The kid is beating his meat. And and you're probably asking, Boston, how can you tell that he was doing that? Let me tell you. So, the way you could tell is the way his legs were crossed. Now, you might be like, Boston, how does that have to do with anything? I'm not going to go into that, but some people probably know. But his legs were kind of crossed, looking weird, because he was doing the old Slim Jim buckaroo beating his meat. That's what he was basically doing. And you could also see the shadow, which is kind of weird to say, but I could see the shadow of his penis, which was not comfortable. And then you can hear him moaning, and then you can just hear that old... And it's just utter disgusting. And I'm sitting there just going. But yeah, that's pretty much like my reaction. Now my actual reaction, if I were to be a loser and just react out loud, I probably would have just been like, ew, what the fuck is this? But I guess not. So that's basically like what I was acting like. And I hurry up, like the next 2 minutes go by, I hurry up, I'm finished. Like I finish using the bathroom. I get up, I get out of the stall, I talk to the kid that was like sighing. I'm like, hey yo bro, you good? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I hope you're doing good. I know I'm not doing well. I didn't say that to him though, obviously. But I go to wash my hands, and yes, I go to wash my hands. I'm a gentleman. I'm very nice and clean. And this kid, he thinks he's smart, but he's not too smart. So he flushes the toilet. He thought he was smart, and thought he made it look like he used the bathroom. He did not, and I know that. And then he could have gotten away with it he could have gotten away with it. This story probably could have never went on longer. But the one thing he didn't do was the most important thing you do after you're done using the bathroom. Wash your hands. And he didn't wash his hands. And he's got now these dirty hands that were touching his pee-pee everywhere, which is disgusting and nobody wants to touch that. Imagine you come home from school, or work, or I don't know, it doesn't matter. And then you go and see your friend, and he just got done doing the thing. You don't know that. And then you touch his hand, you rub it all over. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Can you imagine all the germs, probably diseases? Imagine probably getting sick of somewhat. I don't know what you can get if that can happen, but you can probably get something. Like, that's just my theory. But yeah, and eventually, I'm done. I go back to science class, and I walk in, and I got that look on my face. And I also just do the old, ugh. And my science teacher looks at me and is like, hey, yo, what happened? And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. And he's like, oh, okay, then perfect. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, perfect. Totally great. It's perfect for me to go to the bathroom and see some kid doing the old jacking it in San Diego, but no, I don't want that. Ew. But yeah. And then fifth period ends, science class is over, and I go to lunch. And I'm in the lunch line, and I'm talking to my friends, and I'm telling them about what happened, and they're like, no way. But then I see the kid. Coincidentally, he's in the line right next to me. And I see him, and I'm like, yo, that's the kid. But I saw a disgusting sight. He was touching all the other kids with his dirty hands, just like I was saying before. Nobody wants that. And that's when I got pissed. I walked over to the kids that were being touched. I had to tell them about what happened, because I don't want them having anything bad happen to them, diseases, germs, sickness, something like that, and dirt being, his hands being dirty, nobody wants that. So I go over there and tell him. He kind of gets basically exposed for doing that. And I end up having to warn a couple more kids, and then eventually spreads around. And I eventually go to throw my food away at the lunch table after I get my food. And I throw it away, but after I do that, I look at the kid and I go, You're disgusting. Go wash your hands. And he's like, what? Why? And he gives me that look of the trying to hide what I did look. And then I walk away and I do the motion to show what he was doing, and he loses his shiz. He gets so pissed. He's so mad, and he starts yelling at me from across the table, F you! And this kid is freaky. This kid's weird. I know that. This kid's really mean and really freaky and weird. Nobody wants to talk to this kid. And I basically, in the end, he actually started crying for 30 seconds, but I did feel bad about that. But still, you guys get my point here? Nobody wants to be touched, and I kind of had to help people. And even if they found out about it, still they had to know. They deserve to know, because that's just disgusting. But yeah, basically that's the end of the story. And moral of the story: wash your hands after you're done doing. Actually, not always wash your hands. Always wash your hands, even if you're not using the bathroom. Just go and wash your hands if you want to feel clean. Wash your hands every single day, and yeah, keep your hygiene up, stay clean, and yeah. My name is BostonBraxo. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.